coverage of the Pro Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Brunswick. Get in the zone with Brunswick. Old Spice High Endurance Deodorant. For long-lasting odor protection, now you've got proof, not promises. Tenactin. If you want a medicine that acts tough, get Tough Actin Tenactin.
And there's the long shot of the Brunswick lanes, the right pair being used for the championship. And look at the scores of our first game. Dennis Horan had 11 strikes, 265 to Parker Bones III's 243, and now it's Horan going against the United States Amateur Champion, Patrick Healey.
Well, Chris, as expected, high-scoring and exciting first match. And, you know, it's been a long week here, 48 games of Tournament Champions, and the week was kicked off with probably the finest dinner we have all year long, where it is the Tournament Champions dinner, and I think it's going to be interesting to take a look at.
Right. It's the inaugural Riker Cup that helped get the week underway, with the United States team defeating the international team. Walter Ray Williams, of course, doing the best for the US of A, and that evening, to help celebrate the traditional dinner of champions, 400 people welcomed the 60-more-man field and the newly PBA Hall of Fame inductees, Walter Ray Williams Jr., David Ozio, and Roger Zeller of Columbia. Handshake now. There he is from Niagara Falls, a graduate of Wichita State in the blue shirt. Pat Healey going against San Diego's Dennis Horan. Seven-pin on the left lane.
Well, Horan's going to need some solid conditioning and some solid concentration to go through the whole field here today, as there's so much pressure on him in the first match as he threw 11 strikes. And right here, he doesn't get that break he got on the 7-pin in the key 9th frame in the last match. You see the 4-pin just setting down in the channel and doesn't take out the 7. Now here's a man, Chris, who's been the U.S. Amateur Champion and came through an amazing numbers to get here. Actually, there was 19 countries participated with the amateurs to qualify for the 5 spots, over 30,000 entrants, and then the players bowled a 24-game match play competition on Sunday just to get in the field, the pro field. So here's a man who survived it all.
And nervousness has set in.
Well, actually, he hit his ankle here, Chris. He's probably one
well,
thing.
he shouldn't hit his ankle.
One thing you teach a player is that not to pull the ball when you're nervous. And here, he tucks his swing inside out. He hits his left ankle. And it's imperative that he just maintain his concentration here and try to keep that arm swing close to your body. We've given it in tips, and we watch it among all the good pros, is you have to have the body and the swing together. And it's so hard to do after you've hit your ankle on a shot. Pretty good.
Didn't quite come up for Pat Healey, and we all feel for him. We really do, because it's count of 6 in the first frame.
Here it is again. This is the shot on the spare. He gets it in the oil. In other words, his shot's around the second arrow. There's a heavy amount of oil in the center of the lane. If you pull it into that oil, the ball's going to skid by the head pin. He tried to keep his swing in, but it was too tight. He said he was as nervous as a mouse in the Hemingway house, Chris. And if you've ever visited Ernest Hemingway's house with all those cats around there, you can know what he's feeling. Good recovery.
Pat Healey, who owns a pro shop in Niagara Falls, and he likes that type of life so much that he's never gotten his PBA card. He's been around the world with a bowling ball. Dennis Horan. Sparrow. Leaving a 7-pin. And if you just joined us, here's a man that had 11 strikes and shot a 265 to Parker Bone III's 243. This is our second game of the Brunswick World Tournament Champions. Next up will be the number 2 seed, Mike Albee, going for the Triple Crown. 2 spares now for Horan, and we return to Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. You actually didn't lose that first match, Parker. You just haven't had any breaks all week long. I watched you shoot a lot of big games and no wins.
All week. It seems I can bowl 230, but after half a dozen of those and coming up short, obviously now this makes number 7 over 230 and coming up short. So I don't know what to say. I'll just have to knock on the door next time.
Well, maybe it's out of respect for you. You think you're too tough.
I don't know. Maybe I'm making them work too hard, but they're getting the job done. So I hope it stops soon.
All right, back to you, Chris.
So the man that defeated Parker in the first game gets a strike finally in the 3rd frame. Now, with the channel shot at the first ball, and then 6 pins with his second, here is the United States amateur champion, Pat Healey. 3 gold medals, 1 silver in the 1995 Pan Am Games. So he has doubled now, and he is trailing by only 3 pins.
Well, here's one of the best trained bowlers ever to come out of college on the tour. He's had top-notch training all his life, and everything is in perfect textbook position. Look at the pivot step. Watch him pull that left arm back as he squares his shoulders up and hits the line in perfect position. That's a product of great training and great athletic ability.
First amateur to make the telecast of the Tournament of Champions. Look at that. There is Miriam, his wife, the band in the background, that of Rob Folks. Yes, we are on the campus of Harper College. Here is a glimpse. Arena bowling at its finest. The Athletic Center, Harper College, Palatine, Illinois. Dennis Horan, leading by 7 strikeouts. 17-10 lead, and here again, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel, and with me, Mike Albee. Mike, you've won a lot of tournaments, but and I've noticed this week you're psyched more for this one than any other one. What's the real reason?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things. I've had a lot of heartbreaks in this tournament. With this time as the Brunswick World Tournament Champions, a little bit different feel than it was in Akron. Not as much pressure, so I'm ready to go out there, and it's all up to me now. So I've got here and got to pop at it again.
You'd be the only man, 4th man ever to win the Triple Crown, but also with the Masters be the only man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thrill, but I'll tell you what, they're all tough out here. I got 2 games to go, hopefully one at a time.
He's the champ, Chris. He'll be in the next match. Back to you, Ben.
Okay. 6 pin for Dennis Horan. And, of course, Mike will meet the winner of this game. Our 14th telecast, ABC Sports, 34th year Professional Bowlers Tour telecast. We'll be back in 1996, March. We'll tell you about it later. Okay, spare, continuing to mark. Whereas Pat Healey, supreme test in the first frame, throwing his first shot in the channel. The fan now with him. Here's Horan's replay.